what kind of I kind of like the way it smells, but then I kind of don't like the way it smells. So I just try to use a little bit as possible. I don't know why this man is out here doing push-ups in, what is it, 1 degree weather. Like maybe that's his way of staying warm. God bless him. It's sure cold. But good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hey, don't forget to tap the like button, hype the channel up, share your donations to the channel if you feel like it. God damn it, share your donation. Donate to the channel. Get them likes up. Get the likes up, y'all. Love on the like. Come on in the chat while I take my drive. Another early morning for me. Every day is an early morning for me because my body has adjusted to like really getting up super early, especially since I've been leaving out the house at 3:30 in the morning on Friday. So now it's like I'm just up early for whatever. I wake up for whatever. I have shit to do like 5, 6 o'clock. I'm like, oh, I like being up that early. But anywho, this is one cold weather. One cold month here, y'all. The weather is laying it on it up here and other places, but it's laying it down right now. So I don't like to be all bundled up every day, but I'm staying bundled up. A lot of sick people at work, so that's kind of scary. So got to practice that social distance. Well, it's about time. It's about time. Don't y'all forget to keep peeping in over on the link in the description area. Support PAP. We're wearing summer PAP gear. Got the hats on there. The summer will be coming up. Support and get you a pair of flip-flops that you like to wear around the house. Things like that with your matching pillow or something. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And now, but just coming on just to kind of talk about what's going on. When I tap on the TV today, and it's like every day it's a new episode of a situation that is or has occurred. And I get it because there's so many YouTubers out there, and everybody has to lay the perception out of how they see things and you know how things should be and etc., right? And for the most part of it, right, if you keep clicking so much, it'll have you just keep clicking because you're searching for the truth of some things. And also, you know, some people can be inspired by different people's perceptions and you know, to make them become aware of a lot of things. But, and so, you know, I've been watching the protesting pretty much every day in the morning as I'm preparing myself for the day, right? And it's like I say, it's crazy, right? It's trying to understand it. It's getting out of control. You know, I don't know whether if these protesters are right or if the ICE is right because of, like I say, so many people view it so differently based on your constitutional rights or you know, what is the ICE doing illegal that they're violating people's constitutional rights? I don't know, but I so happened to click on this one show, and there was a guy who did an Instagram post, right? A video post, right? And he was like literally going in, y'all, about, okay, he is sick of the protesters, as long with a few others, because they are the ones that are being, who are not involved in the protesting. They're the ones that's kind of feeling a lot of pain through it too, because they are subjected to, you know, a lot of noise, and people that are not out there and the homes are close right there. All of that pepper spray and things is coming inside of their house, making it unbearable for them to breathe, or they can't travel back and forth like they were doing to get to work or to the store or to the doctor's office and or such things like that, right? Most of them are, and it's crazy, are parking far away so that they can walk through that community to go on with their day. But he wants all of these protesters to go in the house. He says that there are possibly what we're seeing on TV, a lot of protesting going on with people who don't live there. And then, of course, we know that that is what protesting will do. If just because there's a community that is standing up for their rights, you're going to have neighbors from everywhere. You don't even have to know them, that believes that if there's some wrong for doing, they will come and stand for you. So now it's filled down there with a bunch of chaos and things of sort. So I was asking myself, well, okay, well, if they do go inside the house, will the ICE leave? Is this what they want? But then you got those people that is, I don't know, the Trump supporters and everybody that is for the ICE wants them to stay because they're doing their job, want them to go in to get these Somalians and the other, illegal alleged immigrants out of their state, out of their communities, out of their towns, because, the argument is, and I heard one guy try to make this argument about, they're opening up different stores, hair stores or clothing stores or mini grocery marts and stuff, right? Where, it's possible that they're not paying any taxes and stuff, but the American people are paying the taxes, and they get to be here and live free, make thousands and thousands of dollars, in which most of the time, they'll keep half of whatever and send the other half back home to their foreigner family, So I don't know. When it first started, I was like, oh my God, because I like to stand for something, just like I did for R. Kelly, right? And I like to fight for things that I feel that is unjust to people. However, I know that you got to make the right choice before you go and stand for the right people. For example, when I'm looking out here at all of these protesters out there, right, it's like you go out there to help by chance, right? Because you don't know whether if you're standing right beside an illegal immigrant or a criminal, that does X, Y, and Z to people. You don't know. So some of the things which I know that they are looping on TV that could be 2 weeks old or 3 weeks old or whatever, I'm trying to look some of, and I know I should not be, just looking in a lens and presuming a person is such, right? But I get, you want to be careful as well with protecting yourself for doing things like that. But I'm looking at a lot of them, not the elderlies that are out there, because there's a few elderlies out there, but I'm looking at some of the younger people that are out there, right? And the first thing that I'm thinking about, like, what if this is, members of, I don't know, gangs, or members of the drug lord, stuff like that, that every time a door or opportunity open up for them to come and stand out and be hooping and hollering and yelling and that they, not out there to just take advantage of that, because, this is how they are releasing their freaking anger. So, right, nobody, this is, let me show y'all. This is what some people come to ice skate right there. Check it out. I've skated on that ice before with the kids. I don't know if y'all can see it right. I'm almost downtown by the university. I got to go through there, right? And I chose to take the streets today because I'm buying me some time. I still have a little bit time before I have to arrive at my appointment. So I have another appointment today. And I'm about sick of appointments too in the winter. I know next time, like, I'm about to change all of my appointments to the summertime. Hey, good morning, Dark Horse. How are you? Can you please hit the like button for the channel? I appreciate it. Thank you. Dark Horse called me at a good time because today I'm not ranting and paying attention to what, I usually come on here and be ranting and acting crazy about. So thank you for joining today on a very calm and humble day about my, opinions about what I see going on. So with that being said, though, right? Hold on, I'm gonna show y'all the university when I go down through the university area. But um, so now, I'm watching as we move forward, as they move forward, not me, because I ain't moved forward, on this protesting and stuff going on in Minneapolis with the ICE agents out there. There is a Black Panther organization had arrived in that area, and I'm listening to them and whoever that leader guy was that was on there, right? And he was being interviewed by a journalist who was speaking and asking questions about, what is their position for being here and things like that. And, he went into explaining that, we're here to keep, help keep the people safe and, make sure that they, are complying with the laws of protesting, within the laws of protesting, and but also making sure that there is not another person that is being shot down unnecessarily, or executed for, what they feel like because they can do so. So I was all in for that. It's like, well, okay, that's helpful. But this organization, as everybody knows, the Black Panther movement is also an all-black organization, right? Now, moving further ahead, so then later on that day, I clicked back on so that I could, because I want to catch up on these fest. I mean, this is history, this is groundbreaking, because I ain't never seen nothing, this close to home in my lifetime. So, I want to follow this, and I want to see, like, what, and, and those are the only two words. I mean, what the hell? Because it comes to a surprise to me. Now, there's people out here way older than me, or people that have been involved in many, many protests across the states, right? That it doesn't come to a surprise to them, but it's definitely a surprise for me, because this has not hit home like this to me, right? I always felt like outside of, the police picking up, the drug dealers or busting up the gangs going on or whatever, like that was a minimum. Oh wow, to me, it's like, oh, but this right here, I'm like, Jesus, what's going on? So I turned to another video when I was clicking on, because the title caught my attention, and that was the title with mentioning the NFAC, and I know what, and I'm like, oh, well, wait a minute. So you had the NFAC out there. I think they were in Louisiana or something, right? Let me show y'all also how it is cold up here. This is a lake, right? Off of Lake Michigan over there. I don't know if y'all can see it. It's all frozen over there. No boats out. No nothing. No. I think you might have a few fishermen people out there in their ice house and stuff that loves to enjoy ice fishing. But I also think that it's a little too cold out there for them to do that. Now on the other side, because I think I am on the east side of this lake, right on the west, on the further west side. Now you will see quite a few people out there, because the what do you call it, that little house that sits out there, it does have like heat in there, and it is monitored very well because they have cameras, and most of the time it's like a few police over there to make sure that that there's no problems or anything occurring out there, because this lake here does sit by, like, in the center of quite a few homeless shelters where the people do like to come out. So but I like to come down here too. Sometimes I'll walk, sometimes I will bring my dog down here, and we'll take a walk around this lake. It's pretty though, right? It's pretty in the snow. I got the light, so I better stop. I had to watch the light, but it's pretty. Now, I'm putting my camera down because that guy next to me is black, and I don't want him to think that I'm filming him, right? Like, so I don't have to hear what the fuck, he jump out the car on me, because people do that type of shit, right? It's crazy. But I'm now entering into the downtown area of Wisconsin. Students are out. Everybody's still going on about their day. And I want to touch on that part too. But let me jump back to the, watching the NFAC come out, right? And where they have their coalition and getting ready to, do what they do, which I assumed is very similar to what the Black Panthers movement does, right? So you got two correlations representing the same type of action out here, right? Which is protecting the people, standing for this, or standing for liberal, or black people, and this or that, right? And I'm like, now this is what kind of behooves me sometimes when we have these different entities, but these entities does the same thing, right? And these two entities are doing it nationwide. They're everywhere. California, I don't know about Arizona. I never heard one down in Arizona. Michigan, New York. They're like everywhere. They're based everywhere. So I'm thinking, okay, democracy, unity, right? Strength. Why isn't it that I guess my question is why aren't these two groups molded together to just have one? Do you know the strength? Do you know the number and volume or whatever speaks superb loudly than the two groups? Because at some point, they clashes because of different views, different values, or different people that they want to support, different this. And I was like, why can't we just do everything together? For whatever their reasons are to have this separate groups is beyond me. The amount of sources that they can get to achieve this astronomical value in money, because they both ask for donations, and we know what the donations, are for, right? And it's something that I'm going to look up, because I'm like, I don't have to be in the group, but I can't support the group. I'm like, well, okay, maybe they have something where you can do like $25 a month or so to help support them. Well, it helps them with their resources. It helps them keep up their military and militant wear and gear and, weapons and things of sort. It helps them keep their building in great shape and stuff, so that they have a place to, meet and do what they have to do before, they get these phone calls about needing help for this and needing help for that. So something that crossed my mind last night when I was like, you know what, I think I'd like to be involved, not necessarily out there standing with the AK-47, but, maybe just, do my part with sending in my donations. So it's something that I'm going to look up and see how to do it without, doing, all of that stuff, right? But I just think that, that they should be one organization, one correlation. Like, why are we divided? Why do we have to be divided in everything? Because, somebody wants to be a leader in this, and somebody, built this establishment over here. Like, come together and, man, make them numbers count and strong. But watching the NFAC come out there, y'all, I was like, I have not seen this large capacity of black people, right, walking around with these weapons like this. And I know the Black Millionaire March didn't have weapons and things, but as far as looking at it on TV, that was like the first. I was like, oh my God. Like, when I say they was walking tall and straight, females and men looking good to me. I don't care what nobody say. I'm sorry. Black is so beautiful. Black is so beautiful. I'm like, look, will you look at all of these black people? Now, with that being said, right, I got another red light, so I can show y'all like how I am now entering downtown. I got to go through it though. Check it out. I'm entering downtown. People are out. It's still cold. And guess what? The situation that is carrying on up there in Minneapolis, Minnesota, right? It's just not here. I've literally have driven myself when I get off work or whatever, to certain areas where I know like there's a bunch of Latinos or possibly mistakenly Somalians, right? Then I just don't see them. So right now, and I go to some of the areas, inside and outside of what they would call the ghetto, or places where people you would think is have a great place to hide out at, and it's just not here yet, and I'm in Wisconsin and it is not here yet. I hope that it doesn't happen here, but we don't know, because it's like somebody had to design this book of these orders of where they want them, to go, the ICE agents to go and position themselves and stuff like that, right? So, but with that being said, that's just how I feel about the Black Panther movement and the NFAC movement. These correlations come, I'm like, why are they so separated? What's going on now? After the Black Panther movement went, the show that I had watched, right, they a lot of people recognized, I guess, the leader of this Black Panther movement, and I don't know his name offhand, but I did write it down, and I'm not at home right now, so can't retrieve that information to mention the guy's name. And when I say I went to, just kind of look on Twitter or so, or Instagram, you all cannot imagine. Now, this is University, okay, of Wisconsin down here. We also have the stadium down here, but y'all know when you come downtown, almost everything that you're looking for is down here, okay? So it's where the Bucks play at and all of that good stuff down here. And of course, there's nothing going on. Students that are just walking and heading to their classes, because they're still going on. But let me say this, because this is why I say that, right? When we talk about this major situation occurring in Minneapolis, people are still focusing on their livelihoods. So we know now that we have half of, coming from here, the states, right, where, and I'm just speaking about people in general, right? A lot of us, will care about something like that, pack it up, go up there and help others. But you also have a whole lot of other people, they care, but they don't show the interest into what I'm supposed to go up there to intervene or be a part of a situation, because these are the type of people are thinking, well, what about my livelihood? I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to be shot and killed. And one thing for sure, what's going on in Minneapolis is not going to be forever. But you can go up there and be involved, intervene, shout, scream, F ICE and all of this stuff, right? And your whole life can be turned around in a split second. But see, those people that I see up there are people, some I would call them, okay, those are true soldiers. Some probably don't have a job. Some probably don't have a family. And some are just true, strong, protesters. Like, this is what I do. They could F a job, F my kids, F my family, F, and go on. And the only thing that they're looking at right now is themselves accomplishing something that can be talked about in the near future. And talking, if I had a little bit more time, which I'm going to see if I do, right, at some point, all it does is just get the next person to repeat what you're talked about. But then I'm trying to see what was the gainship, from it. Okay, we just talk about it, put it in a book. But then now I drive through downtown Chicago, right? I'm looking at, a lot of people still moving in action here that's focused on, no, I got a life to live. I got to feed my kids. I got to pay my rent, my mortgage. I got to survive. I got goals. Or this person here might be going to school to be your next lieutenant general, or all of that stuff in the military, or your next president. So a lot of these people don't want to stop what they're doing, to go and be involved in that. That's pretty cool. This building sitting over here to my right, that is the testing area. It's like a science testing area for animals, right? You can bring them there. They got something that you or your doctor can't figure it out or whatever. You bring them there, and then they do all that testing and shit to see what it is and diagnose them properly or whatever. So I've been in that building, and it's pretty cool over there. Now we're going to be coming up to, because I'm through downtown area. It's quite small. It's not pretty big like some of the universities. Like I've been to the university down in Mississippi, right? And Mississippi is pretty freaking big, but our university here is not that big. Now over here, I absolutely love. A lot of the people in here knows my grandson Keandre, right? I spent a lot of time in this hospital. This is the children's hospital over here to my right. Y'all, this hospital so freaking big. It's so humongous. It's humongous, right? You could get lost in that, so you got to travel along the yellow lines to take you to the certain departments. Then next door, you also have the regular hospital over here. This is the UW Wisconsin hospital, one of the largest hospitals in here. However, I don't go to this hospital. Just like how they did with everything else, separating for demographic for the people. Well, depending on the type of depending on the choice of your insurance, I can go here, right? But at the same time, it's considered out of my network, right? So you have to watch where you go, because you don't want to get hit with all of these other fees that your insurance provider don't pay for and all of that stuff, right? I'm like, hi, good morning, Ms. Brown. It would be so cool because you do have your elected insurance that you can walk into anywhere. Like, I'm insured. What's the problem? No, it's not. And that irks me too. I get it. Maybe it's so that they can minimize certain the volume of people to each one, and to also make sure that each hospital is receiving their share in the economy out here, and blah blah blah. They got specialists over there. Shit, just crazy, y'all. Just all crazy, right? I need to redesign this whole goddamn shit. But anywho, so I click back on, and I'm on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm just kind of looking around. So, the leader of the Black Panther Party, now here's this whole conspiracy about this black leader from the Black Panthers movement, right? I promise you guys, when I say these people maybe because a lot of people recognized him or something like that, when I say they done went and pulled this man whole freaking life up, sounds familiar, right? Sounds familiar. And I'm looking right at the people who has went to do content on this man, and roughly they were all black. Now, the leader of the Black Panthers is not like 100% black. I don't know. He's Peru, Latino. I don't know. He's mixed. You can tell he's mixed, right? When I tell y'all, they came on to, the demising of it. He has a history. He has past history, right? And he was allegedly involved in the Pyrus, and he done served time for sexual assault, and he done did this and he done did that. I'm like, do black people ever catch a break from something that what it was? Like, for instance, R. Kelly, right? Can't catch a break because there's going to be somebody that's lurking out there that wants to make your past of your life the worst part of your life for the future. Just tear you down. So I'm clicking and now this is all that they're talking about. Like, oh, and he did it. Now I'm seeing that or hearing that. I forget the actual leader who started the Black Panthers coalition, right? Something about his niece or whatever has a lawsuit or something out on the Black Panthers movement. I'm like, really? Because this guy allegedly, is what they're accusing, is perpetrating the people out here, right? His coalition, this Black Panther movement that he is in, right? Mind you, walking around carrying an AK-47, keep that in mind, right? That now he is out here perpetrating the people, and they're asking for donations and all of this stuff, and it's a fraud. I'm like, you know what? It's damn if you do, damn if you don't. Now, then I click some more. So now you have a few more other black people who is out here talking about, okay, well, he is a federal agent. I'm like, what? They put a federal agent out here to walk around to stand for the people, under misrepresentation, and he worked. What? I'm telling y'all, the more you click on it, the more you could get confused about it. So, at some point, you do have to understand that, okay, a lot of this, it's just clickbait because of the starving and the hunger and the greed for a YouTube or a TikTok check or a Instagram check and all that stuff. Like, I'm like, so you have to understand how and when people would just do and say anything. Because I'm like, okay, so you mean to tell me that he's an FBI agent, right? Undercover or informant or whatever, and they just went and got these. Well, they didn't go and get them. These people just decide to come and drop themselves in the center of some of the war that's going on with Minnesota community people and the ICE agents. They just woke up one morning and say, what in the Jesus, y'all? I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Anywho, I switched that channel because I was like, at this point, well, I don't care. I really don't care because it's getting out of control. So, but now, you guys, I'm looking right, still at the NFAC and the Black Panthers movement. And I'm like, do you know that I guess, allegedly, they're saying that now he done stepped down and he's being removed from being the leader of this or that, and which I think could probably be a hoax, right? Because you would think that the people that he was out there leading and marching with or whatever already knew his goddamn past or knew some things about, and I'm like, well, is this the reason why they have taken him down? Well, I don't know. It kind of appears to be that way, right? So I don't want to miss my turn because every time I come over here to the west side, right, it just looks different to me every freaking time. But yeah, so it's just crazy. So now they are these correlations who's supposed to be out there standing for, and protecting or whatever the people rights and all this stuff under the umbrella of things that what they value and support and all this stuff. Like now, they're fighting against each other. How the fuck are y'all gonna help the people, do whatever y'all say that y'all gonna do if you guys are bumping heads and you guys are now fighting? Kind of sounds similar to what's going on here on the YouTube streets, right, in the R. Kelly community. It's ridiculous. All it takes is some words to be said or your face to be shown, and people will just dig up some goddamn stories or whatever and to conspire against you to tear you down. But with that being said, all of that is, which I am finding rather true now, especially after seeing this underneath something that is very seriously going on. Oh my God, don't y'all hate when the sun beams right in your eye and now you got to drive off of instinct? It's like, okay, I hope I don't hit shit or whatever. Let me slow it down. Let me just try to get there and see what's what. So I guess I can park here because it says associated dentist. Now, last week y'all saw me traveling to go and get my checkup and stuff done because I do wear the Invisaligns, right? Straightening up my teeth, and I'm getting them and they're there. But now today I am at my regular dentist, right? My regular dentist, because it's time for me to see him, and he's trying to work, and do my dental cleaning and all of that stuff around me getting the Invisaligns done. I don't have them in now, so, but then that's because I know what they're about to do up in here. So it's like I'm back and forth. 1 minute I'm over there, 1 minute I'm over here. I'm just busy. And at some point, like, I'm just getting tired. But at this point, I will not be making any more appointments here until I'm done over there because I'm tired. Not in the winter. They're going to have to wait till the summer to schedule my stuff out. But, so that's going on, right? And I was so, like, cheering them on and things, like that. I really was. I was like, okay, maybe they'll get it come. Now, I go to another channel, and I'm clicking, and I'm watching it this morning. I'm going to turn the heat down because it done got pretty warm in here. And God be holy, you guys. And now I'm watching where it has turned into a race war, a race fight, right? Now, I'm hearing that there is quite a few white folks that's in the Minnesota area, right, screaming and yelling, for the blacks to come down to help strengthen their fight against the ICE agents, right? And I swear y'all go on Twitter, TikTok, or Instagram, whatever, right? And these black folks on there saying, who in the heck is about to do that, right? So they're making it too. I noticed one of the content creators, he's got his YouTube plaque behind him, right? But I didn't go and check to see how large his platform or his numbers are, because I usually don't care about that. Sometimes I care about, no, most of the time, I care about what the speaker is speaking over what that person's success may be. I don't care about that. It's like, well, what are you speaking? So, and he was going in and he was showing all of these clips and things or whatever with all of the black people and stuff. Some of it I kind of chuckled on, because it was like, who? One girl was like, who coming where? No, 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 no. That's not how this works. It's like, it's y'all time. It's y'all time. This is on y'all. We're not coming down there to help y'all. This is they not looking and fighting, with the black people. So why are we coming? Then of course you're gonna always hear that cliche like, you didn't come when it was, they were going in or whatever on the what time is it? 8:06. When they were going in on the black people, right? So when the girl was speaking, he was putting up some clips, right, from the slavery time, right, when or different riots and things that where the black people were involved, where you saw the police officers with the clubs and stuff and was banging and beating the black people, right? And he's like, well, you're right. I don't see any white people coming to save them black people from getting their ass whooped up there, during this time period or this time period and this time period, right? Oh, it's great. I'm like, it's damn if you do, damn if you don't, right? It's crazy, right? So now you have that going on. Boy, you can take a match, and the minute it is stricken for the fire, this fire we all know will spread if it's not contained or put out immediately. It spreads. And of course, somebody will get a whiff of it. And the minute the fire burn is the minute that they get the yelling and talking and, started going in on some stuff. Should the black people go up there to be helping X, Y, and Z with this freaking protest or things like that? I think that is pro-choice. You do what you want to. Go do it if you don't. If you don't, then you just don't. But instead of turning it into a race war, but what I'm seeing now is that we're never over it. We're never going to get over it. It's never going to end. It's always going to happen. So I don't know. I was stunned with that. But, it just caught my attention and interest today to kind of follow some of the news and stuff by jumping from channel to over here. I want to see what this person is saying. I want to see what this person is saying. And if it's not logically making sense to me, and I know that this is some person that just wants to be in the midst of it, in the middle of it, because now this is a perfect time to get a YouTube check and, build your income, or Instagram check or TikTok check, then of course, why not get on board? Just like what's going over here in this community over here that involves R. Kelly's situation, right? Now you have Drunken Larry is back out. Now the Drunken Larry is back out. It's like people sit and watch and lurk, right? And you wait for a person to say something that will allow you to jump on board to refute it or rebuttal back into the atmosphere, the same type of energy that person is bringing out. But so I have not listened all the way through of Drunken Larry's video. Some of it I don't care to hear. I don't give a fuck, right? Because he done said and did and whatever it was for him to do at the very beginning of all of this stuff. He's mentioned, I did this and they did that and the parents did this and the Lord did that and I know about this. I spoke to them. He was at my house and it's like at some point I'm like, I get it being engaged in it, but it's like And be over that shit. Go do it, because at the end of the day, when you refute it or when you rebuttal back to it or whatever, I ask myself, okay, well, what are you going to do about it? Because the actions is what actually cost out here. Just coming back to refute it or rebuttal it or whatever is only just going to keep you up more content, basically like what I've been doing with the goddamn catfish out here. All it does is just get you to hit that button to come back and come back and come back and come back, and you come back and you come back and you come back and you come back, and guess what's going to happen? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Now, I'm looking here like, okay, people talk about, well, you have the power and the power and the power and the power, and I can do and I can do and I can do. You don't see that happening. You will not see the people that is refuting or rebuttaling back to a drunken Larry that is capable or able to go out there and say, well, okay, you got X amount of dollars or whatever, and I'm going to hire this or whatever to try to get you back indicted for what you did, or how whatever your involvement was for R. Kelly to have the type of case that he had, right? Who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? Stand up. Raise your hand. Who's going to do it? No, but it all sounds good. Wompity womp 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 womp, being televised out here on these things. It's just crazy to me. And I see just Jason. Jason's been popping up in here through the week, right? I gotta do just 1 second, y'all. Through the week, right? And I know y'all don't like the camera off, so what I will do is probably let y'all look at the building. How about that? Then look at the building. This is residential, I think. Yeah, it's a residential building that is literally sitting in the middle of office buildings, right? But yeah, but I'm going there. Associated Dentist. See, I ain't got to hide no more. Ain't nothing for me to hide, but I ain't running from nobody. I ain't scared of nobody. And ain't nobody should or would dare to try to come and harm me, right? There. I know it's probably going to get Google and let me find out. But, it is what it is. But for the meantime, between time, I am going to turn it off. This is about as much information that I'll put out here, because I ain't ducking, man. I'm living too right. I'm living too good, and I walk with God to think that anybody, fuck, you want to hurt me, and or what the hell, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna bother you. So I'm not even in that zone, right? But oh, my tea getting cold. So I'm watching it, right, and that's all it takes. That's all it takes, and it's. People build this content off of strategy. Drunken Larry knew that he was going to strike up and bother somebody who is feeling some type of way, that's going to come back out here and tell the people all over again, in case y'all have forgotten the process or the timeline and what he said and how he said it and all of this stuff, and then the same time in the midst of it make excuses for the involvement of themselves. That's just ludicrous to me. It's just ludicrous to me. But Jason has been popping in here pretty much every time I come on, and I appreciate that, Jason. I appreciate that when you do pop in here, that you hit the like button. I appreciate it. I know that Jason been in my chat and everybody else's chat, right? And I'm not to call him out, but Jason has sitting there and has not supported probably nobody. We just got a place to talk. Now, I like Jason for the most part, that he's made himself vocally involved in his opinions and stuff, speaking about R. Kelly. But I'll drop the link for Jason. I promise you. And I'll let Jason have his little showtime on the platform so that he can discuss. Because he always wants to come in here and tell somebody, well, let's talk about this. Let's talk about Azrael. Let's talk about Joy. Let's talk about Kitty. Let's talk about the pen. No, you can come up here on the platform and talk about whoever you want to talk about. Because once again, that is exactly what the end. What time is 8:14? That's what the end results are going to be. Let's talk about it. Okay, let's talk about it. All of the paperwork has been read. They have had tremendous fights over this freaking paperwork about R. Kelly, R. Kelly, R. Kelly. And until you are that person, Jason, that is going to step forward with whatever you think that you can do, because I can't do it. And me coming on every day here and there, talking about R. Kelly and steady, repeating, what's her name? Faith Mama did this, and Gloria Allred did this, and Red Nim did this, and these people, the co-conspirators did this, and the so-and-so did this, and the so-and-so did that. You know what would make my day? You know what would make my day, which I know would never happen. And don't get it twisted out here, right? Because, and I know that at some point that R. Kelly was limited to things that he could have said. But just to hear R. Kelly come out here as much as he came out here, speaking on these phones with all of these people, some of them that are being blamed, that has intertwined or confused his case, right? I would like to see and hear from R. Kelly, instead of making these phone calls to do the singing or, well, what's up, bro, and this or this or that. Tell your story. Because he has to know by now who was for him and who wasn't for him. And you know what? It will kill all of the speculations, all of the conspiratory acts and bull crap about him. But he hasn't done that yet. Is this person reason why he's in the hole and the person over here did the man? I am so freaking over it. I am over it. I will support, I stand for the way that I support good right over here. But coming up here on the screen just to say something about R. Kelly, I'm not in the mood to go on a freaking battleship with anybody else who don't like what I say or who did like what I said about R. Kelly. I know my stance and how I feel about what went on in this case, and that's never going to change. But at the same time, I am not sitting on millions and millions of duckies, right, that R. Kelly absolutely needed to bring in the right people who would have had no association with anybody out here on these fucking YouTubes or social media trial for R. Kelly. None. You mean to tell me that all these attorneys ended up being inappropriate or ineffective for this man? You mean to tell me that R. Kelly was okay with Tom, Dick, and Harry, his fans, a fan base, getting him through what the hell he needed to get through? He was okay with me? You got to be crazy. And I get it. They can all make the argument about he didn't know who to trust. He didn't know who, to be with. Then you know what? Go sit down until you have your actual interviews and lay down what was this and what was that. And I get it. A lot of people were saying, well, he didn't know what was going on the outside. Well, he don't know what was going on the outside. Now, I have to beg to differ on that, because his significant other, who he claimed and she claimed was standing by his side. You mean to tell me that she did not position herself to be viewing in on a whole bunch of stuff that was going on and relaying this back to R. Kelly so that he can make a great decision based on that? He trusted her, right? She trusted him, so that should have already been established between those two. Because I guarantee you, had it been bad, he'd have known every damn thing, and then I would have been telling him, listen, you got to cut all this stuff, just for the simple fact that everything that R. Kelly was saying to whomever on these phone calls and things like that, they were bringing it right back here to YouTube anyway. Those are the people that should have been cut off, other than saying, well, R. Kelly sends his loves and he thanks his family. That should have been it, or his fans. But no, that wasn't it. It was like every day, I'm not going to say this right now. I'm going to tell you this. And I talked to R. Kelly on Friday. R. Kelly's going to be released on Valentine's Day. He's coming out on Christmas. Oh, no, well, I commend and I salute, because he's a great man, a drunken Larry or this or that. Drunken Larry wasn't the one that allegedly was supposed to be saluted to, coming from somebody who's making these announcements that was supporting R. Kelly. Y'all make this shit make sense to me. You talking for the being this tied into this type of shit? Get the fuck up out of here. Mm-mm. Then, now, of course, you got Drunken Larry. Now it's point the finger back to Sharon Winbush, right? I remember, I still have the live when we were down there supporting R. Kelly. That was it already for Sharon Winbush. Cut the fuck off. You're done. Because after we did the Walk for Chaos and all of the other protests or whatever that happened for him downtown Chicago, Sharon Winbush came back and crapped on it. If you thought that I was going to present to do what? Support Sharon Wimber after you done said this? Because this is a person who wanted to put herself in position and finger out orders or whatever. She ordered these people to go up there to Washington. She ordered these people to go and do this and go do that. Sharon Wimbush just wanted to do the ordering, but did Sharon Wimbush, did she lead any type of march? Did she do any of that? Have you guys seen any of the paperwork or whatever that she done drawn up to say, well, no. No, we not finna talk and hide behind the screen and do ordering. That's not how it works. Because if you're going to lead, then I'm going to have to see my leader. I'm going to have to at least eye it and visualize it, okay, that this is somebody that you can stand behind, trust, and swim up the river with. Nobody says you got to be crazy. All the people fucking nuts. You ask me? Talk. Everybody, you know, you got the people on here making instant videos and this and then applying 20, 30 freaking people involved that they feel that they did the unjust and helped created this and they led this and they led that. And this is exactly why, this is where, of course, now we can say, okay, these are ineffective freaking attorneys because they were all taking the advice and the this or that from the people out in the freaking public instead of following and executing whatever evidence or whatever that R. Kelly can produce himself. Relied on the freaking public to mitigate or litigate this man freaking case. He should have been the one to be able to tell what was what and this was what and this is how and this is this and they go find the evidence or whatever based on his account. Not the public. Like, what the fuck? I wish I had attorney Wood. I wish you would. So how did I look at it? How did I view all of this stuff? Yeah, everybody was pretty much doing some dumb, cracklish, niggerish ass shit. She want to sit on the screen and feel good about a story that you know because you done went with him and walked with him and at a concert and doing this and doing that. Who gives a fuck? He's not on trial for that because you walked with him, lived with him, knew him over there. And, what the fuck? All of them, to me, in my opinion, lost complete focus on this. Everything became about what they shared with him, what they did with him, what you know, this or that. Okay, so you didn't see it. I didn't see any of this, as what the guy said on the show down there with the sisters. I didn't see any of this. And how much did that do? Sound good on TV that you didn't see any of this. Okay, so we have now R. Kelly sitting in there when he did the Gayle King show. I did not do any of what these people are lying about. What is it that your wife is actually lying about? Where is the proof? How is it that you have all of these different attorneys that could not present the timeline of where you were, what you was doing, how you was doing or whatever, or it all was just ignored because the prosecution came in with preponderance what do you call it, characters that took the freaking stand about him. Now, had it been just a regular old case and not a freaking celebrity, you'd have been standing up, yelling, and getting objected, a whole objection to the freaking world. All of these sidebars we see, all of this shit going on about R. Kelly, and I'm like, okay, this is insane. This is totally insane. We saw Jennifer Bunjing get shut down, not shut down completely, but was getting paused in her executing his defense up at the Supreme Court. I'm watching this. She, a little bit stumbled over her words here and there. I got Jennifer Bunjin coming on screen, telling the public that R. Kelly was okay. He's very much so, satisfied, okay, with the 7 charges held against him. But you mean to tell me that he was okay for the co-conspirator that was in the paperwork that is the son and or the relate whatever with Daryl, with the dad McDavid, who was now came out to be R. Kelly's attorney, which I don't even know what happened to him because I stopped following the shit, right? So now it went down to Bo Bradley. But those people got to go home. So trying to interpret it and define an enterprise, it looks like it became just confusing, or this was just all a planet, and the courts were satisfied with the way that enterprise or RICO acts are. So the Mann Act, it was a whole goofy ass damn case. Do I wish R. Kelly the best, and do I hope that something will turn around in the near future for him so that he can get a retrial based on excellent, professional attorneys standing by his side? Minus, because I do wish and hope that there is no more public interference in this man's case. So all of the blame actually have different angles that anybody can shoot at that did detrimental harm to this man's case, because they were listening. The inside was listening a whole lot to the outside. Then you got this the jury being hidden, or that, like, what are we, I'm sitting here watching this stuff like, what? So yeah, I stopped pulling the paperwork. So for someone who wants to know, well, she needs to, well, why don't she do it? And she's not doing the paperwork. To do what? To say something that will ignite a person who is ignorant to the freaking fact, and all they can think about is coming out here to dispute and argue about something of what my perceptions or the opinions will be the facts to this man's case. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. What award do you want? What award do you want because you read paperwork in and out, every day, every day? What award do you want? Because at the end of the day, after doing all said and done, and I get it, it was said and done so that the people from the inside or whatever can hear you, but the people on the inside that needed to hear what you say that your truth and your facts were about and all of this stuff, they ain't hearing you. They didn't try to hear you. These ineffective attorneys were already on the inside from day 1 or 2 or 3 fighting against themselves. Fighting against themselves. Then you looking at the fan base running in there, want pictures, want to do this, want to at this detrimental time, moment in this man's life. Nobody could set that down. Who the fuck want a goddamn fan sitting out there running around, and not just him, others, or on a bus, trying to get on a bus and take pictures and all that stuff. They didn't feel no type of way. Get the fuck out of here. Out of here, because I gotta show who I am and how much I